All right.
All right. Hodl. Save. Build. Sound money. Okay, guys, this is going to be kind of a serious show because I know everybody's all excited about, and I know there's a lot of people out there that have, I know my wealth has increased substantially in the last couple of months. So even though I've lost in my trading, I'm still down 2 Bitcoin for the year.
I've made back what I lost.
Okay, and but that's what this is not going to be about. This is going to be about.
This is going to be about the people who haven't got it like that.
Well, no, there's a lot of people, and guys, as you're tuning this, you might know somebody, have them tune in. There are more youngsters out there, and even oldsters. There's just more people out there that this is hurting them more because they believed in sound money, they believed in Bitcoin to a degree, and they lost it one way or another. And trading, some of you may have lost it in shitcoin or doing the DeFi crap or whatever, and so that's another thing.
There are many ways
to lose, Bitcoin. But the emphasis is rather than celebrating and say, oh, look what I did, look how great we are, I'm sitting here, I get it, man, and I'm here to help you get through it. And I just got this. When did this come in? Yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share this with you guys. This is from a member. We're not.
The member gave us permission to share this.
Yeah, he gave us permission to share this. We did contact. We hope that maybe he can come on with us someday. But we want to make. This is why this is public, because there's probably more people out there going through what this young man is going through than what here we are. Hitting new equity highs.
Right.
So we're here for this group. We're here because we're serious about Bitcoin and putting yourself on the Bitcoin standard. That's what it's all about. It's actually this article that's inspiring me to get off track on everything we're going and take a new course. And I'm going to get it done within a week.
That's a new project.
So, but and here it is. So, hey, Ugly, I got to share this with you. And it's not fun nor good news. I've managed to recover my 2019 loss after joining your group. I've been managed to take out some bits for doing good things to my life outside of Bitcoin. I've grown about 1.8 Bitcoin into 5.2 Bitcoin. However, addiction slipped in undercover as being a different type of trader than you are. I started engaging in more trading, many hours a day, taking increased leverage to recoup a series of losses. I've even ended up transforming the 5.2 Bitcoin back to 1.0, which is a lot less than I started from. But thanks to having known you, I've managed to hold at least this 1 Bitcoin instead of burning it down too. I sold it all in a moment of desperation to prevent myself from keep sending Bitcoin to BitMEX. I regret that. I'm totally into the Bitcoin standard, but I had to protect me from myself. I would like to thank you very much and to thank God for having come across your path. Otherwise, I could be in a much, 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 much worse situation than now. At least I've gambled portions of 5% of my hodl each time, and not at all, which gave me time to realize the addiction before it was catastrophically too late. I hope you can take this story somehow into consideration to help others. There might be other people silently falling into this. I know you have a trading group, not an addiction help group, but I mean, just saying this may be happening to others as we speak. And I hope you can use your permeability. I don't know what that is. That's a $10 word. You're smarter than I am. Into people's lives to help others also with such things. I admire you and where you've got. After having lost $1 million in your early 20s and having spent 11 years in prison, you managed to start it all over from scratch and be successful again. I hope you can keep mirroring myself in. I hope I can keep mirroring myself in you, and that one day I can recover myself from what I've done in a way as remarkably as you have recovered in your life. The only sentiment right now is, however, not hope. It is instead shame, regret, the feel of loss, the feel that I'm a loser, and feel that I will never, ever make the money I've lost ever again. I've already talked to my wife and asked for help. I don't think I can get out of this alone. After having read some articles about it, I realize this goes much deeper into neurophysiology than one can rationally fight against. I may have to jump out of the group before the expiration of my yearly subscription for my own mental health. Or I would just mute it and keep away. I really need to keep away from trading for a while. Hope you don't mind in keeping in touch. I would be glad to one day be able to tell you how I got out of this. Okay, so he's going to get out of it.
He is.
You
I mean,
know,
at least
this
he
is,
realized it before it was way too late.
you know, that's why, you know, I teach it's okay to get wrecked, but don't get ruined. But I know a lot of you have gotten ruined. I was ruined. This young man has a lot going for himself. And number one is he's recognized it. Number two, it sounds like he has a wonderful woman by his side. I'm not sure, did he sell all of his Bitcoin or did he still hold his one?
He sold it all into fiat, I think.
Just to
make sure he couldn't
go
keep
back.
feeding the addiction.
Okay. That's okay. If that's what you have to do to do it, I won't condemn that. Although he should have tipped the one.
But there are more important things.
There are more important things in life, but the whole thing is what's really important. Guys, I didn't lose my money. I lost money for other people, and that's what's really this young man has limited himself to himself.
Yeah, at least he only lost his own money.
And there's other people that have gone through and lost for other people, and I guess that's why I'm so big into the money management. And I realize how easy it is to screw up.
Absolutely.
You know,
I think we all have at some point or another.
But so in that degree, I don't consider mine luck because I paid a pretty big price. But you definitely consider your success
absolutely
to luck.
That is nothing but luck, ultimately.
And so anyway, I just want to address this, and
I think there's some really
it's quite the opposite of all the elation and all the Bitcoin stuff that's going on out here, because there's probably more people, and there's a lot of people that I know, they can look back and we all kind of laugh at it. So you have to have it, you know, yeah, if and buts were candy and nuts, you know, yes, I'm a Bitcoin millionaire, but I've thrown away a lot. I made some big mistakes in getting there, and I can still honestly say I lost more on exchanges than my hodl. And you know, so you can figure what that would be. That's no small little bit. The only thing you can do is you just have to start again. And it sounds like, you know, the most important thing is he's got that. It sounds like he has a wonderful woman by his side,
right?
Which is great.
One of the most important things you can have.
And, you know, I mean, I have to admit, in my first marriage, you know, I dragged my wife into places she should have never been. And, you know, so it did not end well. So you have to address these things you can recover. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that shame, because if you screw up, you should feel it.
It's natural.
That's a good sign. And not, I mean, my goodness, what if you didn't have shame?
Oh my God. Yeah,
You know?
then you're really in trouble.
So,
and I think that he's probably right. There may be people, even in our group, who are suffering this silently because it's not something you feel like announcing to the world while it's going on.
right. And that was why I had Zazo participate with this. You know, and he was one of our featured speakers at the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise. So Zazo, if you're out there, feel free to get on. I hope I'll share. I don't know. We're not going to share the information of who this was, but I'll share it with Zazo so he can maybe get in touch. Yeah, we're not a support group, but we are.
We're here for the good and the bad. I mean, it's you have paid no small price to get into this group, and we acknowledge that, and we don't want to be dismissive of anyone who.
Well, Eddie went in. I told you so. Eddie's getting some surgery, guys, and he's our kind of gopher guy, and he's finally on the Bitcoin standard and really gets it. He's so excited. He's getting his ass.
He's having an anal cyst removed.
He has an anal cyst. Well, he says his buttocks. He is getting an anal cyst removed, and that's kind of an inside joke because in our group I call technical anal cysts, which I believe in technical analysis, guys. But when you can become an anal cyst when you're TA, and that's what you need to avoid. So anyway, I just wanted to share this with you because this is the opposite of everything else that's going on out there. I want to emphasize. In fact, I think that what I want to do in this new emphasis is we go through. Can you pull up one of the dollar cost averaging chart?
Yeah.
And I think what might be a cool exercise for everyone is go through. Now, some of you probably got in, some of you may be in before the 2014 peak. But you might want to go through the history of Bitcoin on a month-to-month basis and see what you were doing and where you were at different stages.
From the 2017 top.
Okay.
That's the
most recent high.
Yeah.
Okay, we can just go there.
Let's share this.
All right. So 2017 was the peak. In November, and we peaked over 20,000 or right at 20,000. The futures were several $1,000s over 20,000. And so we started this dollar cost averaging at $500 a month at that peak. And I do remember in that year, in 2017, that was when I was in the top 10 of BitMEX. And I know I took out over 400 Bitcoin for the year, which that put me in the top 10. I forgot. I was 9 or 10. I was right in there in the top 10. I think I was 9, but I'm not sure. But we were in the low 400s. And there were guys that had taken out 2 or 3 times what we had. I think the top guy did pull out 800 or something like that. But and that was before all the institutions were in there.
Right.
Then I started, of course, I was competing with another guy. We never knew each other except, anonymously, but we had fun talking to each other. And we were always neck and neck and kind of kept the competition going. But during that year, I after being, in the top 10 throughout 2018, I was out of step. Now, I didn't lose anything, guys. I just didn't make anything. And it can be very frustrating to be actively trading for over 3 months and not making anything. And so that was what was happening. And so that was then when I wrote my first Medium article, blowing out the bottom with a smile. And but it might be worthwhile to go through at every point in your own life. I mean, I can kind of reflect on mine, but I think it's important to go through your own life and see what you're doing, what mistakes you made, because, you know, have you been able to do better than the simple dollar cost averaging? Very, very few people can.
Very few.
Okay. This consistently works. Now it works because we are fundamentally correct in the market. And we're the fundamentals, there are Bitcoin fundamentals. There's a reason that Bitcoin is an innovation. But I'm not going to emphasize that because you don't need to know that. If you just assume there's only 21 million that's going to ever be made, there's a limited supply, it's unconfiscatable, it can be easily
uncensorable,
can't be censored, you can't be stopped, can't stop from, they can try and censor you, but it's very difficult, you know, and you can, there's always going to be a workaround.
Impossible.
And it's so easily transferable. So these are all the things that make Bitcoin what it is. But you don't, that's all you really need to know. I don't know the back end, don't, you know, and it, that has not diminished the usefulness of Bitcoin. And if you look at the dollar cost averaging, because I mean, imagine where you're at. I can kind of go through, I stopped trading completely for a few months. And then I think in the fall somewhere, I started picking up, I think it was in October, November of 2018, when we were at that well, you can look at October, there was 6,500, 67.42. I did go short. I put in 2 Bitcoin on BitMEX and I went short, and I turned 2 Bitcoin into 22 Bitcoin on that break from 6,700 down to 3,200. Okay. And then in February, I did trade. Now I did much better than this, but remember, I was only trading with my HODL. I haven't bought Bitcoin for years, guys. I took a small amount. I took 2 Bitcoin then in the February of 2019. And at the end of the year, had run it into 32 Bitcoin, which isn't bad, but okay, look at February. It was 3,500. Where did it finish at the end of the year? So I finished the year in 2019. Yeah, 3,500. I started in February 2019, which was 3,500. It finished at 12,500. So 12,500 times 32, how much is that? I don't know.
Wow.
About $500,000.
For someone who works as much with numbers as we do, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. But that wasn't bad. But I only risked 2 Bitcoin. I didn't buy any new Bitcoin. I didn't do anything. And I didn't hodl all, guys. I mean, I literally, you know, I'm people say, well, no, I didn't make that much, because as I'm making it going along, I'm also selling the Bitcoin to pay expenses. The goat lady, look, we got the studio now, we got the Bitcoin house, we got all this other stuff going on that we want to do. We're not sitting here I'm not, at least, just hoarding Bitcoin. I mean, I can look back and say, oh, I wish I would, I wish I had, but you got to live a life too, guys. And you know, I got to keep the goat lady happy, because it's hard for me to keep any woman happy, because I'm an SOB to live with. You know, and I mean, he'll verify that.
No comment.
So so we're here saying, you know,
there is a way out.
There's a way out. This guy's on the right track. It's not, if you got it all wrong if you think you want to be a full-time trader and you're going to get rich overnight.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. So you want to just be really good at whatever you are doing.
Right.
And then Bitcoin is a tool, and you put yourself on the Bitcoin standard. So I'm going to try and write something that's really simple that everybody can understand. And this is going to be geared to first the newbies that are in, that just learning about Bitcoin. And for the others that are sitting out there in the cold, they've known about it. They jumped in, and they've been ruined. And now they're literally living in shame and anguish and sorrow. And
that's a hard place to be.
guys, I get it. Okay.
I think anyone with a long time trading experience will have got it, and everyone has made mistakes. I've lost a lot more than I want to. Anyone has.
Yeah, it's really depends upon how you address it too. I've got more than one person, but this guy's thinking is correct. I got another friend of mine. He doesn't have it thinking correct.
Right.
He's desperate. He's lost everything. He didn't do 11 years in prison, but been disbarred, and it's a horrible, horrible, horrible mess. And he cashed in early on his inheritance, and he's got 30,000. I need to make money. Should I buy Bitcoin? I'm saying he can't.
He's not ready.
He's not ready. He's got other things he's got to work on. And so in that sense, this guy did the right thing to get out of Bitcoin completely, because having that Bitcoin, he wanted to put it on BitMEX and trade it.
I mean, trading isn't for everyone. You need to realize at what point you're actually still just
well, you have to trade to a degree. But you don't need to take a speculative. You don't take a speculative interest. You don't margin. You don't use a margin interest. Just trade 100% margin.
Trade spot.
Yeah, trade spot. Trade spot. When I started out, I traded spot on the worst of all exchanges, which is Coinbase.
Right. And yeah, it didn't work out well in the end. They ended up screwing you over, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did very well on it. I was going to set up a whole business of arbitrage on it. As soon as they figured out that's what I was doing, they shut me down.
Right, which doesn't make sense, but there we are.
I didn't realize what was really going on in the banking world. So I learned now.
Right.
And I still don't claim to know it all. But I think, yeah, I mean, and these for old time listeners, for members, you might just want to go through to give yourself reference.
It takes some perspective. These results are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, guys. If you started as late as the last peak at 20,000, and you just had the disciplines to put away $500 a month,
would have way more than tripled your money.
And this doesn't even reflect the market now. That was a 30. We're at 46,000 now. So that 92,000 this next month is going to be probably 120,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to believe, and it's really hard to do. It's hard to believe because you're in a bull market now, but it's really hard to get through when you're in that bear market. Believe me, it wasn't easy when we had that COVID crash in March, and that took out some really
heavy hitters.
And they made the same mistake, and they weren't even wrong.
No.
I started buying, and I bought it too. I bought it at 52. I was short. I bought it back too early, and I got blown out.
Right. I got blown out on that move as well. I think a lot of people did. Most people did, if you were trading on leverage.
So I'm really comfortable now. I think Stefan is an old time member, and we unfortunately, we are too much alike to the point it's
a bit scary sometimes.
Yeah, we both are like decaying fish, but hopefully we're going to take this to a new level. It's going to be for the average Joe. And we got all kinds of questions in here.
Oh, we've got a lot of comments. We'll go through comments.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye out.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, what I'm doing now, guys, if you haven't noticed, this is not a good market. This is a great market if you're really well disciplined and you're a swing trader, but I get it. I'm tempted to get in there and trade this thing, but you notice I'm not. And if you guys are, the members are probably disappointed because I don't have a position on. I just got wrecked, but I do have a position on, and they know exactly what I'm doing. And this is what I'm hoping to teach this year. So you don't have to trade. You can do very well not trading. My wealth has increased more than it's ever have, and I haven't made a trade. Well, but I do have a trade.
You do have
and I'm using my hodl, a small portion of my hodl, for new speculative position. And
not in Bitcoin.
Not in Bitcoin. No, it's not in Bitcoin. This is going to be the new hedging. This is the new opportunity that's coming. This is what Michael Saylor is waking people up to. This is what I taught 2 years ago when I wrote, the next bull move is going to be the entrepreneurs with Bitcoin.
And those
teaching those without Bitcoin how to get on the Bitcoin set. And I wrote about that, but you know what? I didn't really do it. I did it in a little way.
Right.
Because everybody's not really interested in that part. They want to know,
how do I get rich?
How do I get I want to trade like ugly trades.
Should I buy Doge?
Yeah, should I buy Doge?
I got that question yesterday. Day before yesterday, I think it was.
And the answer is
no. God no. God no.
Do you buy Ethereum? No. Now, I will admit this. Ethereum is the one thing that has maintained itself almost as well, probably better, depending on where you measure it, with Bitcoin, which we do print that. I didn't list last month, but we'll update that.
I mean, Tone had a very good point. I want to pull this up because this is extreme. This is wild. This is what happens to shitcoins. BCH, BTC.
Yeah.
Here we are, guys.
Oh, this what is Bitcoin Cash? What?
Bitcoin Cash at all-time lows.
Yeah.
Against Bitcoin.
Against Bitcoin.
I'm just going to share this real quick. So here we are from a point where, Jesus, look at this. This is painful for people.
Yeah, and
you've gone from more than what?
Yeah.
5% or 30%. I mean, the longer
30%. That's under 1%. It was up there at one time.
We look at
go to your monthly chart. There you go. It was up at one time at 5%. At the peak, it went up to 5% the value of Bitcoin.
Right.
And now it's less.
You're looking at almost less than 1%.
Yeah.
And
there's
there's nothing
end in sight.
There's nothing holding this up. This is what happens to shitcoiners. I'm sorry. That's just the fact of the matter.
Put up Ethereum because it's the only one that has not.
But against Bitcoin?
But against Bitcoin, it's done nothing. Yeah, it's just not there.
I mean, for all the people who think they're smart investors because they bought, US dollars.
Here we are. This is
low.
Right.
I mean, this is the Ethereum chart versus Bitcoin.
Okay. So, and of course, that's one of the first things we do. We are assuming the fundamentals of Bitcoin
to be correct.
Also, I will take issue with the people out there.
Shibley's killing the chat.
You may. Oh, thank you. So we just hold hands while we do this. How's that?
Yes, we're hodling GameStop to the moon.
I just bought the Mexican franchise down here. It probably would work down here. They still sell bootleg videos down at the flea market around here. So
better off buying PayPal. I think the transaction themselves have inherent value.
Yeah.
I hope you're joking, Pat. Bcash will not be catching up. Don't lie to yourself.
There's going to be a Bcash, but it's not going to be Bcash. There'll be a Bitcoin Cash.
Don't lie to yourself.
I hope I'm a part of it because I think it's going to be off chain, guys. It's going to be off chain. It will be easy to use and will cost nothing.
I mean,
it will have to come. And it will have to come in conjunction. Okay, so let's get back to some of the fundamentals here because I am hearing that. I didn't listen to it all, but I know Tone did a great interview with Dan Hill, and I wrote Dan Hill's super guy. He knows the back end of this stuff. He's developed programs. But he got into some kind of debate years ago about how Bitcoin's a store of value.
Right.
And then
we were talking about that yesterday on the road.
And then other people, well, no, it's cash. And of course, I have a really weird view of it because I kind of, I liken that as it's like the old Bud Light commercials and they used to have on the football game. Miller Lite tastes great. No, less filling, tastes great. Well, they're both right, but they're both wrong because it tastes like shit, and it was still beer. So it was, it bloats you anyway. So if you're gonna get bloated, you may as well drink a good IPA. So Bitcoin is still a speculation, guys. It's not cash. It sucks as cash. I think it's going to be cash someday, much easier. It can be, but that's going to come from the marketplace. And it really sucks as a store of value. Well, that's why I can't. I know people are saying, well, buy it now because I'm more bullish than ever. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I don't know that I'm more bullish than ever, but, I've been there and done that. And, I know what can happen.
I won't be bearish anymore.
I'm not bearish at all, but and we're in a new era and we could just go right. I mean, there's models that have been Plan B is one model. Great. Who's the other? Willie Woo's done some great models. I think Murad, he had this. I told you that one is a great model. That's more of a fundamental model than a price model, but I think that's why I kind of like this one better. The other ones are price models,
right?
But so far they're right on target.
They're holding up, which is impressive. I did not expect
so we're sitting here and enjoying every minute of it.
Not everyone is,
but not everyone is, and particularly if you're not on the train. But I can't just I don't have any problem recommending a huge initial purchase at any price, just like Elon Musk just did.
1.5 billion.
Just baby. As what's his name? Who was one before that? Saylor. Guys, but we've been in this a long time. Glad you guys woke up. Welcome to the club.
It happens to everyone.
Right. But we've also been through it. And it seems like it's a freight train that's impossible to stop right now.
It's absolutely every single short I've taken in the last few weeks have blown me out. I've been dumb enough to hedge again, but I'm at least along where it matters.
Well, and again, that's what you need to teach as hodlers. That's why I'm teaching. Hopefully, hedging is, if you have a hodl, this is a hedger's market. This is not a speculative market, but Bitcoin is speculative. That's the whole thing. Even if you're not trading it, if you're just hodling it, it's not money yet. That's why the potential, because it is a speculation. It's a very wise speculation. It's a sound speculation.
Yeah.
It's an informed speculation. But it's not necessarily how old is this thing? It's not even 10 years old yet,
It is.
It's 10 years old.
2009.
Oh, it's 2009, 12 years old.
But I mean,
it's just starting to get a little hair under the arms in other places.
It hasn't even gone to puberty yet.
And doesn't know what to do when. Well, never mind. We don't.
But I'll say this about the store of value argument. I mean, at this point, there are very few people who have not made money if they bought Bitcoin at any point in time, and that argument is very strong for the store of value. But let's see where it holds up.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see it. Let's see it not do these 80%.
Who we're addressing today and who we're serious about is all the people that have been in Bitcoin, have believed in Bitcoin, and yet their personal wealth does not reflect their own beliefs. And that the reason is because they put faith in their own trading ability more than the fundamentals of the market.
Absolutely.
So what I teach is Bitcoin first is the fundamentals trump TA, guys. and money management trumps fundamentals. And so that simple idea of just hodl is worth so much. It's so simple.
And it's so hard.
Oh, it's hard. You know, and that's what we see with this young guy that telling us this is what happened. This is what I did. He didn't have to trade, but he felt like he had to. And I get it. I've been there.
The rush is great. Yeah. I mean, the rush is awesome when you win.
Well, not only that, but I was there. I said I was desperate because, you know, I didn't want to. I mean, I had no intention. I didn't run off and steal funds. I just blew it, guys. There's no other way to put it. And there's a lot of people, particularly in the shitcoin market, you know, that have had similar experiences.
I mean, all the bag holders out there right now.
So, all right. Well, I think we're done. I think I covered it. We have any questions?
Yeah,
or if somebody else can contribute, because we do want to lift other people that are here. This is a weird deal. We're addressing the guys that are, you know, they're sitting here in anguish.
Right.
They're in anguish.
It's a really painful thing. And we really don't discount it. I have a few things I might want to bring up here just to, I mean, there's, you know, we have some very basic sayings, and if it isn't fun, you're over trading.
Yeah. And you're not having fun.
It's important to
but you know what? It's not gonna be fun if I've suffered through this gold trade long enough. It's not gonna be fun if I get blown out of that. But you know what? It's getting harder and harder for them. As long as Bitcoin keeps going up, it gets harder and harder for them to take me out of this.
And you still have things to smile about.
Oh, I have a million different things to smile about. So.
Right. And you know, it's a simple saying, but it's true. Realize when that you know, sweat of exhilaration becomes cold sweat of anguish, because those are the signs. Your body will tell you, but it's hard for your brain sometimes to realize what it is it's telling you. And at least this guy took off some money from time to time and treated himself. He didn't have a wholly bad experience all the way. So, and that's another thing I'll
But he recognized he had an addiction. It was really an addiction problem. He loved the trading aspect, and that's what
But there is,
and I have to admit, you know, I've had that, been there, done that. I have my father had.
I have too.
You know, a lot of people have been there, and you gotta lick that baby before you.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a certain similarity between putting on a trade and going in and putting it all on red or black. I mean, we go red or green, but at the end of the day, it's what it is. You might as well go to a roulette table if you're just balls to the wall. So there is a very, very addictive gambling aspect to trading that we need to acknowledge, and it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. There are ways as well that you can actually prevent yourself. You don't have to necessarily, as this guy felt he needed to, sell everything and get completely out of Bitcoin. There are ways to insure yourself against yourself. You can go with a multi-sig wallet and make sure that you have a lovely wife, so you can give wife
her the keys. Yeah, you don't have access to it.
There you are. You can go.
That's what I've done. I don't have the keys.
Even simpler than that, put it on a ballet wallet or a paper wallet and give it to someone close to you and tell them, look, no matter what happens, don't.
What's a ballet wallet?
The wallets we got at Unconfiscatable.
Oh yeah, I never used that.
Balletcrypto.com provide an excellent steel paper wallet.
I have to order some of those.
And yeah, I think you know that is a very low tech way of securing yourself against yourself if you still want to be in Bitcoin. If you're a trader and you find that you have certain problems doing your money management, well, find a way to ensure that you only have a certain amount of Bitcoin at your disposal every month. You know, there are ways to, I for instance, I have two very separate hodls. I have my original hodl that has not been touched for many, many years and hopefully never will. Hopefully that'll be for whoever I want to leave things.
Hey, you remind me of Thoroughly Modern Millie. You ever see that movie?
No.
Oh, you need to go look at it.
I
she was this poor woman that was working as a maid or something for this rich family. Of course, the rich family never had any money. They never had any cash. So she would always have to tip. They had no money, but she would give everybody the tip. I'd be like, yeah, go around. But that's not a bad strategy. Good strategy, I get it. That's sound money management.
It's a strategy I love.
He done that. He's not sitting around. He just. But you don't need a lot to live on.
I don't even.
You don't need a lot to live on, guys.
You don't. And you can make a living trading from month to month. It can be done. I did it all the year last year. I never dipped into any
month to month. I mean, that's so weird. I'm basically, I didn't hodl much because we
did, but we didn't.
Oh, yeah, hodl, but I'm hodling with, I'm spreading. We're building hopefully we're building some kind of an organization. We don't know what it is yet, but
we have ambitions as well. We have plans.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
So,
but I think it's important to realize your own limitations, especially as a trader, because you can really hurt yourself. And with that, I'm done.
Yeah, we're done. We just want to address that. We hope that if they're suffering in anguish, don't give up hope. It's never too late to start over again, and you don't need to be trading to be
see, here's a perfect example. For me, Ethereum made me good gains.
Right.
Yeah, well, unless you were trading and gaining Bitcoin, you didn't really make anything. You would have just bought Bitcoin because.
Well, if you bought and hold Ethereum, you're doing quite well.
Not compared,
not compared to Bitcoin,
terms, right? I'll share this as well. I mean, you might think you did well, but did you do better than this? If you had Ethereum in February of 18, you've gone from 12% of a Bitcoin down to 3.7% of a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
How good trading is that? You don't need to trade. Not if, right. I think we made our point.
Okay. So what else? Any other questions there? No, I showed you the breakout. Happy, right? Yeah. You know what? The people have learned what I taught, and that is I taught a primer in hedging. And it's kind of hard to understand, but as a hedger, you can actually be losing, in your trading, but you're happier. And guys, I missed the move this year from 20. I swore I was going to jump back in if it went up, and I froze and didn't. But that's okay. I don't even need to. You know what? I need to focus on other things. I got things I want to do than just trade. I really do. And I'm hoping that the trade that I'm in, which we're not going to make public because I'm not going to promote it and so forth, but I'm hopefully that it'd be really cool if I did it differently this year and say, okay, Ugly did it again in a completely different way, just made 1 or 2 trades. You can do it different ways.
Right.
There's no set way to do it. And markets change. And like I say,
Bitcoin changed a lot.
Bitcoin changed. This market structure is different from anything I've seen. But it also, the fundamentals is, which I said all along, the next big wave is going to be the Bitcoiners haves teaching the entrepreneur have Bitcoins, teaching the entrepreneurs have nots how to use it. And this is going to be the big sustainable move. And this is probably where we're at, which is supported by the best fundamental models out there, right, by Plan B and Wooly Woo Woo and Murad.
And that's where we're focusing our energy at this moment. We're not big on the trading aspects of this whole thing.
And we're just regular guys too. We're not in the ivory tower crowd by a long shot.
This is no ivory tower.
And yet we've been unbelievable. We're successful than a lot of those in the ivory tower. So there's a lot of, just common sense is worth a lot more than a lot of knowledge. There's knowledge and wisdom, and hopefully we're passing on the wisdom because we don't know very much. That's for sure.
I mean, I'm gaining knowledge that I never thought I would be into down here with learning what Ugly has done. And
yeah, we did a little thing the other day on gold and silver. Guys, can you believe this is a gold coin? I'll take this out, and it takes that many silver coins now.
handle it correctly.
I have to teach him how to handle correctly a gold coin. I'm collecting my own work here that I used to did. But here's an old. This is there you go. This is a. Is that showing up? This is hardwood gold piece. With on the front it has sound commercial banking, and on the back it has for integrity there is no substitute. I actually designed that. Gee, before Bitcoin, this has 1981 on it. I minted the first coins in 1979, and this is a 1 ounce, 20-ounce coin. I did use these are silver, and we have 67 of these.
I like that moonshine fuel. Gottle.
Huh?
Gottle.
So we have 67 of these now with the ratio of 67 to 1 equals one of these. So that's the gold silver ratio. Guys, gold and silver are not dead. They've been money for 5,000 years.
67 silver coins, which is the same value as this.
Whoops, as this. So you can see why gold has been the standard. It's much easier to use. But gold was never used as cash. These were used as cash, okay? Because they're more convenient. They're for smaller transactions. And they are also what they used to call seigniorage, which is the difference between the face value and
intrinsic value.
Yeah, and the face value, the intrinsic value and face value, because the silver, the amount of silver was not, they actually had a fixed price back then,
right,
which doesn't work. And that's a whole nother story. We address all those things. We'll be doing more of that in the future. And I think it's very important that we look back at I think the last innovation in money was the gold standard. And I don't think that people in this generation understand it. In fact, I know I don't fully understand it. I don't think my father fully understood it. And my mentor, E.C. Harwood, he says it's a lost art. He says that we need to rediscover it. So I do think that's going to be important for Bitcoin ahead, because F.A. Hayek persuaded me, after I learned the hard way, I thought we needed competing standards, that there will be one standard that emerges, and that will be competing with government standards. And so if we are our own banks, it's going to be our responsibility to develop the Bitcoin standard. And it's not going to be the same as Bitcoin, although it will be the standard of Bitcoin. Just like there was no gold was not circulating coinage. It could be circulated as coinage, but it never was, except in one place for a short period of time, and that was California, where gold was plentiful and it was isolated. You couldn't sell it in Europe because it was no boats were going to Europe or around the isthmus. And if you went the shortcut, you had to hike across the isthmus, and you had about a 50% chance of dying from malaria. So. That's why you had this huge arbitrage.
I'd like to address this comment. You guys talking up bullion while shitting on shitcoins is hilarious. Go ahead and price gold against Bitcoin. Well, you're clearly not listening to what we're saying.
Yeah.
We believe in sound money.
Yeah, we believe in sound money. And
hence precious metals aren't valueless to us, but they are nowhere near our hodl with.
No, they're not. They're not Bitcoin. We
both have gold, we both have silver, but nowhere near the value of our Bitcoin.
Right.
And right now, you're trading, you're hedging.
What I'm saying right now is okay, maybe you'll get it this way.
Listen up, Callie.
Because I'm an ugly old goat. I don't have a hedge fund. I don't have a million, and I don't want it. But what I got from Michael Saylor, a real simple message. And he says, you know what? I'm not selling my Bitcoin. But then if you go and listen to the seminars, he's teaching you how to use Bitcoin.
Right.
If you don't get it, if I'm saying, do you understand that I'm buying gold and using Bitcoin as my collateral? And you know that I started getting bullish wrongly last August. I took my loss. I'm out. I came back into it here, I don't know, December, yeah. But as the Bitcoin continues up, it takes less and less collateral for me to hold my position. Now, I haven't made anything this year, but the risk is very small. Guys, I look at risk.
It's
You know,
risk
I don't look at
management, money
reward either. I
management.
don't have a risk reward. I just only look at risk because if the fundamentals on gold are still there. The fundamentals on gold and Bitcoin is not gold or Bitcoin.
It's
Okay, the
sound money.
fundamentals are we've had 4 generations of inflation. Okay, that's all apart from Bitcoin. You have 4 generations of inflation. You have 3 generations of entitlements.
Okay, well, he says
And you
he's-
got 2 generations of regulation. And we got to wipe all that clean. And that's what we're seeing.
But if you are listening, there is absolutely no comparison between shitcoin and gold.
Right, absolutely
that
none.
is the most false equivalent I have ever heard.
Yeah,
in my life.
Exactly. Look, I would love to see gold is really, it has a physical nature to it.
I mean, we're not talking about Bitcoin.
It's
gold
perfect
here.
for nation states, a gold standard. So, and I would love to see the gold standard adopted by nation states and then compete with Bitcoin. Because I think it would make now we have sound money anywhere in any jurisdiction.
Right.
That's when Bitcoin will start losing its value. Because if we have sound money, we don't need for Bitcoin. You need to understand where we're at, guys, and the catastrophe that we're in.
Joe Saz said it very nicely on our stream, members only stream, where he said, Bitcoin is a world is fucked asset. It's basically basing its value and use case on the fact that we are living in a system that is not serving our best economic interests. We don't know necessarily why. I don't necessarily subscribe to the Great Reset theory, but it's fucking looking that way. Someone really wants to destroy the economic system that we're living under in many jurisdictions. And Bitcoin is the answer to that threat of purchasing value. Like you said, purchasing power is king. And the purchasing power of all your fiat money is going down the toilet. The purchasing power of Bitcoin is skyrocketing. What's happening with the shitcoins? I mean, I'll let the numbers speak for me. Yeah, Culture Horse, we will get to your question. It's very simple though. Arbitrage is simply taking it from one place, buying it at a cheaper price and taking it to a different jurisdiction or exchange or somewhere else where you can sell it at a higher price. And once you can get that cycle going, if the difference in premium remains, you can arbitrage. I did it for doing peer-to-peer transactions. I'd buy off exchanges and I would sell at a premium because people didn't want a KYC.
Yeah, and arbitrage changes.
No, you didn't. You didn't say hold shitcoins, but you said
no.
But you said listening to us talk about bullion while we're shitting on shitcoins. I don't
have any problem. People trading shitcoins. I trade shitcoins, but generally from the short side.
Right.
I don't own any of them, but I love BitMEX because they actually have a direct.
I may have misunderstood you, Kylie. I'm sorry. But yeah, getting back to the arbitrage, it's any way of buying it and selling it at a premium.
Markets change, guys, and so hedging strategies change, and that's where I'm at. Right now. We are at a major structural change. Structural change is not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a change.
It's part of the
game, and you got to just adjust, and you got to find out what's happening now. And this is a different market from anything we've seen before.
Very different. Very, very different. We're at all-time highs, guys.
We're in uncharted territory. We're seeing unprecedented demand that with no end in sight. In fact, it's just begun.
I mean, I don't want to be the one that says this isn't stopping before we get to 100,000 or whatever. But I'm not taking any numbers off the table anymore. I didn't think we would be here.
I've got my speculative position on.
Right.
And for members, and they know what it is, and I'm not. That's it. I could be absolutely wrong, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
because we're busy doing other things.
We're having fun.
In fact, we want to go take everybody along. We come down here and run.
All the members have a standing
literally hop in my car and go for a ride. You know, what else can I say?
I mean, that's the reason I'm here now, and don't think he doesn't mean it. Come down and have fun with us, guys. It's a lot more fun here than being locked up at home right now. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
Right. I think that more or less
we're
does
good.
it for
We're
the
in
day.
good shape, guys. Yeah, and we're going to be we're going to start some new things, and particularly if you had, you know, if we hit a home run with you today because you're in anguish or you're feeling shame, I mean, we're here. We're hopefully we're going to be working on some stuff to hopefully get some people that have been through that on the right path.
Right.
Because this is not easy.
It is very, very hard, and trading really.
And this is really
isn't
hard
for
right
everyone.
now because, you know, everybody goes, well, why? Everybody wish when markets are going up, you always wish you had more. When it's going against you,
down,
which I didn't, you know,
too
that's human nature, guys. You got to. That's what it's all about.
Right. Trading isn't for everyone. It
Well,
might
the
not be
set
for
is
you.
really starting to look good back
It
there.
is, isn't it? It isn't. I really like it.
Cool, man. This is getting good. Well, that's what we're going to do. Hopefully, you'll see our production improving a little bit quality-wise. The content probably still sucks.
We're working on it.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And, you know, hope we lifted you. If your spirits are down, I hope we lift you up. You know,
You'll get
can
back.
do it.
You can do
You
it.
can do it. You got to change. You got to really change your thinking. You got to change. And that's not easy because it's really hard. And particularly got a bunch of garbage and bags that you're carrying around. But once you can throw them off, man, it's so nice to be free.
You want to end on the dance?
Huh?
Hodl,
Hodl. Save. Build a. Sound money. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.